The prosecutor in charge of investigating the January 6 attack on the U.S. Capitol, sounding the alarm about the independence of the nation's top prosecutors and what President Trump's pardons say about political violence.
To celebrate that is a message to the American people that the rule of law may not matter.
Greg Rosen, sitting down with NBC News just days after resigning from the department he believes is becoming politicized. He oversaw the sprawling investigation, with much of the evidence captured by rioters themselves, including brutal assaults on law enforcement.
Those are screams that I hear in body-worn camera and in videos that are hard to shake.
Just logistically, how do you handle such an enormous investigation?
It was a Herculean effort by hundreds of dedicated prosecutors, legal support staff, thousands of federal agents, to get it right.
Rosen's Capitol Siege section was able to secure hundreds of convictions, and even more arrests were in the works, despite Trump originally pushing for accountability.
To those who broke the law, you will pay.
He changed his tune on the campaign trail.
But that was a day of love.
After taking office, he granted mass clemency to roughly 1,500 Capitol rioters, including members of the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers.
The underlying message of the pardons and the expressive nature of the pardons is that political violence is acceptable, particularly if it's done for a specific purpose. And political violence in an American society, in a constitutional republic, is essentially the brain rot of the republic.
Rosen also pushing back on the critics, saying that the prosecutions were well supported.
The reality is, every single case was treated with the utmost scrutiny. And so the concepts that these defendants were railroaded or mistreated is belied by the actual facts.
But his section was quickly shut down after the pardons. Rosen was then demoted to an entry-level position by Trump loyalist Ed Martin, who's now overseeing pardons at the Justice Department. Rosen saying in his resignation letter Friday, "I've learned trust in our institutions, like justice itself, takes decades to build and can quickly erode." White House spokesperson Harrison Fields telling NBC News that Trump, quote, doesn't need lectures from Democrats about his use of pardons, citing former President Joe Biden's pardoning of his son, and saying Trump was using his pardon and commutation powers to right many wrongs. But Rosen sees it differently.
It was appropriate, it was proportional, and it was righteous. And so I would not change a thing about the way we conducted ourselves.
Now he is worried about the brain drain at the DOJ and continued attacks on career law enforcement professionals.
Frankly, it's ridiculous that we are seeing retaliation being taken against people who did their job.
And the impact it will have on the justice system overall.
It sends a terrible message. It sends a message that every aspect of what you do will somehow be politicized, or the word I think that keeps getting used is weaponized. And that's very unfortunate.
And Ryan Reilly is joining us now. Thank you for being here with us tonight after that interview. Rosen also told you that he thinks that the firings at DOJ could actually hurt the administration when it comes to the kinds of cases they want to prioritize. So he's making kind of a flip case that, hey, what you've done could actually hurt the things that you want to do.
Yeah, because, when people first start out, they're called, referred to as baby AUSAs, meaning baby, first starting out as line prosecutors. And they typically work a lot of these cases in Superior Court in D.C. And that's what a lot of these people who are new hires, who are under that 2-year window where they could be fired more easily by the administration were in. They were getting trained after the January 6 cases worn down to work all of these cases. And having trial experience is a really rare thing. And a lot of people got it through that January 6 process.
That's super interesting. Ryan Reilly, thank you for bringing us that interview. More, I know, on NBCNews.com from you as well. Thank you very much.